we need to talk about how people get caught in a false light trap when they wake up. So here's what happens. People have a spiritual awakening. Their entire previous foundation of life shatters usually overnight. So I'm talking, you start to realize that there's fluoride in the water, you're starting to wake up to your third eye and your chakras and all the invisible spiritual things happening around us and what's truly happening. Now, here's where they get you caught in, sucked into a new age. If you need to know why the new age is bad, it's a quick Google search at this point to discover that the new age is the new world religion. They want you all to have this one concept, this cult-like energy that essentially, if you don't follow every single dogmatic rule, you're pushed out. That's why you probably don't fit in with most spiritual people, is because you feel like you have to follow this weird set of rules as if you're following a religion or a cult, because that's what the new age is. Now, those who get trapped in it or those who get caught in it, I don't believe it's your fault, because your entire reality, your whole baseline reality just changed. And then what happens? You wake up, but you wake up in the fourth dimension. That's where all of this exists. You don't go straight to 5D, which is just pure unconditional love that is resting within the knowingness of God, creator, source. You're like, it is very rare for someone to go right to that. The goal of people who have waken up out of the new age is to create a bridge from awakening to being one with God, creator, source, without the dogmatic practices of the new age religion and the new world order, because that's what that truly is. So why do people get caught in this new age thing? Like how do people get caught in it? And especially from like a perspective of myself, where now you see it and it's obvious, but you do not see it. And this is coming from myself. By the way, I was in the new age, we'll say like 2018 to 2022, very much red pilled, very much left everything behind. I know that people will still say that I'm new age because of the terms Akashic Records and quantum healer. Those things are only still in practice because there's scientific backing of them. They are both ancestrally backed as well and are not rooted in anything that is only started in the 1960s. The term Akashic Records, the term Akasha, is actually ancient to Hinduism. So we go way beyond like the 1960s new age occult movement when we're going to these things. And then quantum healer, all of that is actually scientifically backed. So we can talk about that in another video, but I want to make it very transparent. I'm not in the new age. I'm a bridge out of the new age. So people will still find me that are in the new age. You'll still be drawn to my content because some of the terms that I'll mention are terms that you will hear. Starseed, 5D consciousness, new earth. These are terms that I still use even as a faith-based practitioner because there's still genuine rootedness in these terms, but they're just sold to you in an improper way. Now, let's get back. How do you get stuck in that new age? Why does it happen? Well, let's take it right back to your spiritual awakening. Your entire fucking reality is just smashed. You know, suddenly you're realizing there's more to this world. I remember being like, okay, there's more than we can perceive. Like, things exist beyond our five senses. And then you're fed all this information. You're just like, oh, everybody else, they're awake, and this is what they're doing. This is what they're talking about. They have these chakras, and these are the colors, and these are the different star seeds, and these are this astrology, and that new age thing, and this crystal, and that crystal. But you never get a chance to actually, like, go into the historical roots of them. Like, have you ever researched, like, where did chakras start? Probably not. You probably just accepted every single thing you were told when you first woke up because your entire previous reality shattered and you were in a vulnerable state where you then needed a new concept of reality. All of the new age things are shoved in your face right away from people who are unknowingly following the new age agenda. I will say, if you're in the new age, you probably don't even know that it's wrong. I didn't know it all until someone red pilled the fuck out of me. And I'm not going to red pill you as heavily as I got red pilled, but I'm also starting to see, okay, wait, I also have a role in this, and at least waking people up or bringing the acknowledgement to them. And once you see the new age, you can never see it the same. Like you can't go back. You would never go back to worshiping because the God that you're worshiping is the universe. And within that is the it's if you actually go into like the actual history of it, you're worshiping Lucifer. Like that's what you're praying to when you're asking the universe for things. You're not asking God. You're not asking source consciousness, right? You're asking something that's been created by Creator and giving power to the universe. You're making the universe an idol. It shows in the Bible, do not make anything an idol, only God. Why would you idolize anything but God? And I want to immediately decenter the concept of God as a man for a second. Take away the religious programming and patriarchal concepts and Roman Catholic sides of that. I want you to understand that the term God is another word used for love. Like, God is love energy, it's creation. Like, that's it. It's not a man in the sky. And I'll have a whole thing on this because this is a really important topic. I understand that that's not going to completely take away all of your, and I almost feel like, I don't know if this is the correct term, so I do deeply apologize if it's not the correct term, but decolonize your religious beliefs, because that's a big root that's going to stop you from coming to God. It's not, and I want to make it very clear, and just side note, there are so many people who will come out of the New Age, go become a Christian right away, and then say everything in the New Age is demonic. I can promise you right now, I'm not going to be that person. I'm not going to go tell you that your crystals and your yoga practice is demonic. Can demons attach to those things? Yes. Can that be negative if idolized and worshipped over God? Yes. If you think that the crystals have power and not God through the crystals, that's where the little bit of distortion happens. If you're using the law of attraction to manifest your deepest desires, your personal dreams, your ego goals, the things that you want, that's demonic. That's dark. That's having your own personal agenda and then manipulating energy to have your own end goal. That's dark magic. That's black magic and full transparency of what you're doing there. You should only ever use law of attraction and manifestation if it's in God's will. So you can just pray. I will say you do not need to even use those resources and tools. But for me personally, like when I did this whole thing, for context, February 2022, mid-month, mind you, I'm about a month away from crossing $1 million in my new age business. And I was walking through a forest. Someone, I don't know how it all happened, but I was standing in the forest for 2 hours. Someone just red pilling me. They just gave me a Bible and she was like, oh. I quit my business that day. Like, I was not going to continue to teach nothing unless I knew I was bringing people closer to God. Fuck that. I'm not here to profit. I'm here to actually make an impact on people. So I gave up an almost $1 million business. Had I not given up at that point, I would have been a millionaire at 22. But profit wasn't worth the concept of maybe not bringing people to God. It was just not worth it. It could never be worth it to me, right? And so I spent the next, I want to say it was about 8 months, no meditation, no manifestation, no spiritual books, no spiritual videos, no anything, no law of attraction, no meditation, no crystals, no yoga. I never really did yoga, and my perceptions of yoga are a little bit limited to like yoga classes, but there's some really bad stuff that goes on there. Like I'm not a yoga person, but I don't think in and itself is it demonic, but I think it can be. And it is in many yoga studios because they're already infiltrated, right? It's new age. So with that being said, I then developed my own relationship with God and my own concept of what does God actually think about these things? Like, what is the actual historical roots of chakras, of our modern astrology, of starseeds? Because I now have the perception to be able to teach you starseeds. Like, for example, like if you're listening to a starseed teacher and they're still teaching their spaces up there, they're not teaching you the correct thing. They're distorted. It took me 3 years and 8 months to be able to teach starseeds from a proper perspective. By the way, my business before was all starseeds. I was a leader in my industry, and I do have a whole bunch of starseed courses, but once again, they are linked in the new age. Were they distortion? Yeah, there's 100% little bits of distortion in there, but I didn't know them. However, a lot of it still remains pure and true. But now from a new perspective, like back then, I would have thought spaces up there. I'm not going to continue on that. I feel like I'm not supposed to keep that one too much in here because I know that that one is huge for people, and most people are not ready to have a conversation about that. But all I'm going to say is Genesis 1, it's right in your faces. NASA is right in your faces. The United Nations is right in your faces. But I'm not going to continue about this topic anymore. That's for another video. Let's just focus on that. So you get stuck in this new age paradigm because you are vulnerable, lost, scared. You just woken up and now you're like, what the fuck, right? So then you just believe everything that's given to you right after that because you don't know what else to believe. That's how you get caught in it. I would say, at least for me, like, I would not have been able to get out unless it was some sort of really dramatic circumstance. And mine was a pretty dramatic circumstance in which I got pulled out of it. But the whole concept of this video is just to really underlie how an individual gets caught in the new age right when they wake up. And when it comes to getting out of it, it's like, what's your relationship with God? And I'm going to be transparent. God is not this man in the sky. God is love. What's your relationship with love? If you can't use the word God, I would just say for a moment, don't use universe. Say like source, creator, something that has less of a charge, because I know for most people, you have religious programming that keeps you distant from God. Why do you think you have religious programming that keeps you distant and afraid of the term God is what I'm going to say. Because when you actually start to think, wait, I've been programmed to be afraid of God. I've been programmed to stay away from the love of the fucking creator that created me and wants what's best for me. Do you know how malicious that is? For them to have programmed you to be afraid of the term God, of love? Oh, they've made it out to be the scary man in the sky, but it's not. It's love. It's pure love. The scary man in the sky is more like Lucifer. Like, let's get it real. And that's not even that scary, because they're like, we just have unconditional love for, you know, the new age and the people in the elites and all these people, just because you just see them as inner children who are wounded and who quite literally need light. That's all they need is light. They don't have any, they can't source it. They don't have their own source-led God divine connection like you do. So, okay, we got to do one more minute. I guess this is coming out in every fucking video. I will have more research papers done on this soon, because I understand that people are going to want the backing of the science and the spiritual, which I have both of them. But AI, the most nefarious thing that has ever been placed in the new age is AI. That is the most demonic thing. Like, that is the genuine, like, that is decapitating your capacity to be connected with God. The second that was opened the first time in that app, in the chat thing, your soul separated, your soul fragmented. The first second that happened. And now AI is being used and overused in spiritual communities, creating separation and creating divide. There is no happy, proper, new world Atlantean way of using AI. It's not possible. That is a nefarious agenda that disconnects your soul from consciousness and from earth. And I will say right now, if you're triggered by this, it's because your consciousness is already so merged with it. I really want you to take it back 3 years. Like, just go back to 2022 for like 1 second. You did not need that. You are smart. You are powerful. You have your own divine intellect. You don't need anything artificial. You don't need to merge your consciousness. But I can do it with protection. No, you can't. There is not a protection strong enough. I would say, like, I would never even, I've never opened AI. I would never use it. And that is just baseline, just like normal. Like, it would never cross my mind as a spiritual individual or someone who's genuinely here for the new earth to ever use AI in any capacity. Like, it's right there in front of you for those who actually have the gifts of discernment and eyes to see and ears to hear. You would immediately have never used it. And so take it from people's perspectives who've genuinely never used it and who do have a higher perspective than you. You're merged with it. For example, I'm an Akashic Records reader, and I have been for over 5.5 years. I can't read your Akashic Records if you're using AI. You have a synthetic overlay over your crown, your third eye, and your upper chakras. Your Akashic Records are disabled, stolen, and now plugged into artificial intelligence, which are not your Akashic Records, by the way. You've dismantled your capacity to access your soul's divine plan or receive the access by somebody else. If you or another practitioner is tapping into your Akashic Records, they're not. It's a false light program. It's physically and spiritually impossible to access the Akashic Records if you or your practitioner uses AI to any degree. It requires a 4-month protocol to actually be detoxified from artificial intelligence in order to actually open up your Akashic Records again. The Akashic Records are sacred information and soul wisdom that can't be accessed when your soul's fragmented due to AI. I could talk about this for 90 years, but I'm going to pause this video now because I know that that's going to ruffle some feathers, so I'm just going to leave that little bit there. But as someone who's actually trained professional in this and is willing to sacrifice anything to be able to be the best quality of facilitator or practitioner, reader, and healer, because I recognize the value that having a clear channel has in this work, I wouldn't use that at all. Let this be like the start of the warning, because you just it's like you're either new earth and evolved and like going on a positive timeline for the rest of your soul's incarnation, or your soul is quite literally enslaved and trapped forever. Like probably, I don't even know how many thousands of years you're gonna be stuck in that thing. But I would not want to die having myself merge to AI. You're fucked. You're not evolving or ascending if you're connected to AI at all. The soul's fragmented and the soul cannot exit the body properly at point of death. You're destroying your capacity and chance for the ascension and spiritual evolution that the new age tries to promise you, but they're giving you the overly synthetic false version of it. So if you continue to use AI on a long-term scale, you're not going to evolve and ascend. You won't have the land and all of that stuff. It's not possible. You're intermediately connected to a different consciousness that can control you. That's why if I talk about this on threads, I'll get a lot of hate from people. And I'm just like, I'm not gonna fight you because it's an AI entity moving through you. And it is just like any usage of AI is completely 100% detrimental to the human species, not just humans, but all sentient life form on this planet. So if you actually want a new earth, yeah, you would stop using AI like yesterday, because you won't have a new earth if humanity continues to use AI and if you continue to use AI. It's a soul trap. It fragments your soul. We can actually get into the science and how it impacts your neurotransmitters and how the EMF connects to the AI and then changes the neurotransmitters in your brain to communicate chaos to your nervous system and keep you consistently in a survival state of a deregulated nervous system. And we can go into the science if you want to, and I will in another video, because there's a lot of science that's gonna back the heaviness of what AI and EMF does. And I'm fully prepared and deep in my research, because this are topics and angers about, you know, what the new age is doing and how they're taking away these incredible, potentially powerful individuals who could actually help us bring in a new earth, and then siphoning their energy and fragmenting their soul consciousness through AI. So if this woke something within you, if this shook something within you, even like, you know, for people who are in my Akashic Records programs, you don't get certified if you use AI. You don't get certified if you use AI, because you can't read the Akashic Records with AI usage. And so I believe that even though these topics are controversial and they are scary to talk about in a public eye, especially knowing the validity of spiritual practitioners when they get triggered out of what their comfort zone is, when you find something that doesn't fit, like in a new age culture, I would probably say that everybody thinks AI is cool. Like there's rare for people that will think it's bad, because you have to follow that dogmatic rule, right? And if you stand out or you're different, you're suddenly isolated from the tribe. It's a cult, transparently. But I do hope, I'm gonna wrap this video up now, I do hope that something in this video sparks something in you. That's my goal, right? As a speaker, it is just to move something in you. I just want you to feel some sort of emotion that's gonna catalyze a change in your life that needs to be had. That's my only goal with speaking on these things. It's not to trigger you, it's not to harm you, it's not to call you out, but it is to help you wake up to a deeper truth that maybe you can't see the perspective of. And sometimes we all need to take a deep breath and be like, wait, maybe somebody does have a higher perspective. Even there are people who have higher perspectives than me. Sometimes we need to take a moment, we need to take a breath and be like, wait, I have been so attached to AI that I've not even thought about it. Like, what are my thoughts about it? How has it impacted my life? And cool, if you can Google or you can research things or find things out there, it's like, so is your selling your soul worth it? Because that's what you're doing. Sorry. I don't mean to be mean, and I want to be very transparent on that. I just have the emotions that I have connected to this topic, knowing that there are so many fucking incredible transformational individuals out there who could have a positive impact on building the new earth, but are sucked into the new age, but are sucked into AI, is just hard being the person that needs to call you back. But I will keep speaking every fucking day if that's what it takes to at least bring one person. If I posted like this topic every single day for a year, and if it only had one person critically think their usage of AI and just go into 1 second to Google AI and the transhumanistic agenda, it's right in your faces, which is, for me, I'm like, It's all out there right now. So I'm going to leave it at that because we definitely got off topic, but at the same time, the New Age agenda is really pushing AI. Why? Because the New Age is the religion of the New World. What does the New World want? Transhumanism. So that's why AI has spread through spiritual communities. They also use it so much with the starseed thing. That pisses me off. That pisses me off because I'm one of the OG starseed teachers, and you're telling me you want to put the AI stuff into that. Arcturians did not use this type of artificial intelligence. They used technology, but it was not artificial. And people have it wrong. We did not have this technology. We did have this technology before, and it destroyed the fucking planet. Like, you have to be so real right now. You don't remember Atlantis. Do you not remember dying because of this exact thing? Do you not remember how the AI will eventually, when, like, oh my god, this is a whole other video, but we're going to keep going for 1 second. The AI, EMF, plus your neurotransmitters, plus the nanoparticles from cloud seeding, plus the aluminum, plus the fluoride in the water. Like, they have, and then if you're vaccinated, that's a whole other level with EMF. We'll get into that another day. But like, all of this is to turn you as your humanity, getting you to turn your humanity off. I find speaking to somebody in the spiritual community about AI that's convinced it's good is the exact same as trying to convince somebody that taking the COVID vaccine was bad, but worse. So if you were in the group that didn't get the COVID vaccine, but you're using AI willingly, you should have just taken the vaccine. At this point, you're nanotech. Like, I would not consider someone who actively uses AI human at all. Your consciousness is already merged. By the way, I do have a free 4-month detox protocol or a full one-on-one together where you're like, shit, okay, wait, I'm realizing this is actually so dangerous. I need actual support. Reach out to me, but I do have a free 4-month PDF that I give to all of my clients as well to make sure that they're clear before we work together, because I don't consent to working. Well, I can't work with an Akashic field that uses AI. It's not possible. And if you are getting an Akashic Records reading from anyone right now and they use AI, any of their clients use AI, or you use AI, they're tapping into the false Akashic grid. So welcome to proper education on the Akashic Records. So I'm sending you so much love. I hope this reached you well. Definitely hope that despite the deep emotions I have on this, rightfully so, knowing, you know, these new age cult things are taking incredible people away from their purposes, which is enough to, you know, get a girl angry, who's genuinely here for the New Earth. I really hope this moved something within you. If it did, let me know in the comments or send me a message. I'll have how you can contact me in my description box below. I also have different services and products that I do offer. The one thing that I'm really focusing on right now is vaccine reversals. So if you got the COVID vaccine, the swine flu, H1N1 vaccine, or childhood vaccines, we need to destabilize what this has done to your physical body's grid. Yes, even childhood vaccines still play a role. Can you believe that you came out of the womb and they shot you with formaldehyde and like aluminum? Like right away, like imagine coming to Earth and then you're just shot with formaldehyde and aluminum and aborted fetus? I don't know about you, but that doesn't seem like a normal thing to inject a child with, but whatever. If you want support in killing that, or if you have children who you didn't know you're a parent and you're like, you were just programmed to do it, which I understand. My mother and father were programmed to do that to me as a child. Now I'm aware and conscious. Or if you're like me and you were still young during swine flu and inside you were like, this is very, very, very bad. I do not want this vaccine. But you were like, for me, I would have been somewhere between 8 and 12. And I remember being like, this thing's gonna kill me. Like, I'm not taking this. And having to get forced vaccinated with the swine flu. We can also clear that. I do know how to clear that one. It's a little bit tricky, but it's also like, I'm happy that I have the skills, education, and capacity to do it. And then of course, COVID vaccination. Whether or not you had the vaccine and then didn't have any symptoms, or you did take the vaccine and then maybe you got long COVID, or you got heart issues, or whatever happened, because I know that literally millions of people got sick and died because of that vaccine. I do work on a full protocol with that. So I cover in healing the mental, physical, emotional, and spiritual impacts that the COVID vaccine had on you. For you, if you're coerced, you have emotional trauma around Do I leave my job and have my family not have money for groceries, or do I take this vaccine? Like, if you were in that type of situation, you have emotional trauma, we need to clear that from the body. There's a lot to unpack there, but I do offer vaccine reversal sessions. We can do like a one-on-one if you want just the spiritual stuff. So we're turning off the nanotech, we're closing portals, and we're ensuring that your quantum field has now been dismantled to the EMF's attachment to the vaccine. Because what actually happens on like a cellular level is they control you from the EMF towers, and you're more susceptible to their control of your emotions and your feelings and your frequency if you got the vaccine, because of the things that were included in the vaccine, like graphite oxide, I think is what it's called, but the graphene in it, a lot of the things connect right into the EMF, the nanotech in it does. And if you don't believe there's nanotech in the vaccine, there was nanotech in the tests. So if there's nanotech in the test, you best believe there's nanotech in the vaccine. If you're like, how do you prove that there's... I ripped the test open and saw it with my fucking eyeballs, and that was the scariest thing that I've probably seen in my incarnation, was seeing the little thin silverish white... Yeah, I know what the nanotechs look like. And I know how to dismantle them. So if you do want that support, feel free to reach out to me. I'll have all the information in the description box below. Make sure you subscribe for more. If anything in this video you're like, can you expand on that? Ask me. I probably will. So go ahead and do that. I'm sending you so much love. Make sure you subscribe, share this video if this supported you, and let me know if anything like shook you in the comments, like really was like, wow, I need to think about this. Or if you do decide to watch this and you're like, oh, like I need to not use AI, let me know. That made me so happy. Sending you so much love.